What is going on, comic fans? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. It's Sunday night. That means it's time for another episode of At Week's End. And now that we've got the streaming debacle fixed, we're here. We're ready to talk about all the hottest things that happened this week. It's a big week, from studio buyouts to the return of the Monsterverse to Game of Thrones to a stack of new comics and all kinds of hot comics and more to talk about. And when I decided that it's the night for the Legion loot, I was super stoked. So we're going to be giving that away tonight. So let's get into it. As soon as I find this button to click, we shall start. Check out the link in the description to all the videos. You got big time collectibles in there. Justin Comics Cleaning and Pressing. The channel membership is live. We're giving away the channel membership Legion loot tonight. If you're in the Legion tier, your name is on the wheel. So don't go anywhere. See if you win. And if you're not on the wheel, consider hitting that button. Become a channel member, hit that Legion tier, get the loyalty badges next to your name, the custom emojis, your name on the wheel, early access to content, all kinds of stuff. And don't forget, ABX Comics and Games, the community's comic shop. If you need a shop to set up so you never miss out on cool comics, new comics, old comics, whatever comics, they got you covered. Check them out. Check them out. How are you guys tonight?
I'm doing well, now that I'm in the right chat.
Now that we're in the right chat, yeah.
I felt like I was in the other chat, and it was like, remember those old TV commercials where you're like looking for someone in a store, looking for a salesperson? Hello, hello.
Yeah, like when you we're setting up a stream and you hit set stream, and so every once in a blue moon it'll have like error, try again. It got the error, try again, and I hit it, and it set it up. And then when I go over to YouTube to like put in the tags and all that, there was two of them. Like, oh, wow. So I guess the error was only on the StreamYard end, but it sent to YouTube. So I deleted one, and apparently there's a StreamYard one and no connection on the YouTube to StreamYard end. So I just had to set up a new one. But happy to be here, excited to talk about stuff. Steve, how are you?
Doing good, man. We went to a gymnastics meet today in Kansas City. Daughter came home with a couple medals.
Nice.
Some things to work on, but happy to see her happy. And it's cold here now.
I feel like every week y'all have gone to another competition. How often do y'all have competition meets?
It's about twice a month. Though we missed all of the January meets because they were back-to-back weeks, and she got sick right before one meet, and she couldn't go to that one, obviously, and then she was still sick enough to not be able to go to the next meet. So it's about 2 a month, December through April.
Wildly competitive, it sounds like.
Yes, it is. Especially if you do USAG versus AAU. We do both, but she hasn't done a single AAU yet. She's got 3 of those left and 1 USAG, which is a state meet. So yeah, it's exciting. It's fun to see your kid do well and be happy about it. So
yeah, that's very true. Well, what's going on, Pop? Good to see you in here. He's on the wheel. Burke, you're on the wheel.
I am.
DVH, you're on the wheel. Leafy Substances, a.k.a. Steven with the C, a.k.a. A1 from day one, you're on the wheel. We got some people on the wheel here. So, yeah, I'm excited, excited to talk. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about.
I'm on the wheel.
You're on the wheel, Paul. Yeah, you're on the wheel. Where do y'all want to start? What do y'all want to start with? There's a laundry list of topics tonight. Like I said, the big Paramount purchase. You got Game of Thrones, Night of the Seven Kingdoms finale, the start to the Monsterverse. We got the dork thing that you were going to talk about. Is that what's back there? That Scotty Young? That looks like Rogue and Gambit.
It's a Rogue one. It's a Rogue book.
What is that too?
It's Rogue #1. That's a second printing 1 of 25 Scotty Young variant. I just thought it was cool. Just thought it was cool.
That is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm a rebel. No wheel for me. You can get on the wheel.
Hey, join it.
What is going on, Sledge? So you said you want to start with the Paramount.
Yeah.
Cool with that. Well, the big news, I mean, it's been going on for a long time. It's been talked about for a while. I've got a video already up. If you were on the wheel, Sledge, you would already have access to this video. Joe, you know who has access to it? Joe Michaels already had access to this video. But the big thing is Warner Brothers has been in a mountain of debt since 2020. Mountain of debt. Like it's been crazy. They're at approximately $35 billion in debt, and they're going through their 4th sale merger in like the past 10 years. You know, you had the big AOL purchase and the AT&T purchase and the Discovery merger, and now they're up for sale again right now. What is going on, Comics Embraced? And they they've had a handful of competitors, Universal, Paramount, and people were speculating if Apple would jump in. Disney couldn't jump in for numerous reasons, but toward the end of it, Netflix jumped in, and it became just a Netflix versus Paramount tit for tat back and forth. Ultimately, this past week, Paramount put up a bid big enough that Netflix said fold. So it looks like Paramount Skydance will ultimately have a clear path to purchase Warner Brothers, and that's where it's at right now. Thoughts, opinions, and criticisms. Steve.
Sorry. I mean, I'm a fan of it.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of it. I mean, to be honest, I mean, politics aside, I mean, it's a movie company. I would rather a movie company own a movie company than a non-movie company. I want movies to stay in movie theaters. I want longer windows. I want a longer wait between when the movie is in the theater to when it's available to stream, similar to like what we saw with the Tom Cruise movies, Top Gun 2. I think we need to go back to like that 90s style, and I think Paramount is the one to do it. Now, I think it could have been cool if Netflix did it because I mean we all have Netflix. I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, everyone has Netflix. I mean, don't they?
300 million.
What's the population of America? Approximately 350 million.
Yeah.
Everyone has Netflix.
Yeah, I mean, sure. So that would have been cool, but I think what's best for movies and movie theaters is that another movie company owns it. Now, I mean, there are still some, some things that they have to go through, some hoops they have to jump through to make sure that it's going to go through. I know a lot of people on the left are like, well, man, like that's just like Paramount and Ellison's owning everything. And there were Republican backers and all that. And, if it would have gone to Netflix, everyone on the right's like, well, those are left-wing backers and all of that. So, I mean, you're not going to win regardless, but if we're looking at it strictly through the lens of what's best for movies and movie theaters, I think Paramount getting it is what's best for movie theaters.
And Cliff has a good point. He says he wants the antitrust laws to mean something, and he said it in all caps. So he truly means he wants it to mean something.
Top of his lungs.
Weigh in on the criticisms that come with the antitrust thing, like the problematic nature of it, what some of the hurdles they could be running into, and why it's not good.
I mean, it's just like if someone owns everything.
No, I mean Paul's got a little more details to this.
Let's hear
Paul about a lot of this stuff.
I'm not a fan of it, but I also would not have been a fan necessarily of Netflix.
Yeah. So to put it out there, I don't think anybody wants to see Warner Brothers sell, period. But it's the reality is we're on the other end of that.
Paramount has already said that they're going to have $6 billion in savings. That's going to come from jobs. They don't need two sets of distributors. They don't need two sets of marketing groups. They don't need, and we said this last week, is with Paramount, you're going to lose the jobs on the movie studio side. With Netflix, the jobs on the movie theater side probably would have been in jeopardy. So lots of people are going to lose their jobs either way, I think.
Yeah. So right now, just for some context, and I know like ultimately words mean nothing. Like when Sarandon was saying we're gonna put movies in theaters. No, you're not. You might for a little while, but ultimately when the dust settles, you're gonna do what's profitable for your business because that's your job. And ultimately, that's the same thing I feel will happen with Paramount. I think you might have a longer wait for that, but they've committed to I'm just the messenger here. They have committed to these being two separate studios and the merger being at more of a top level in where they benefit mostly of the stuff from the back end with the technology and the stuff like that. So we're going to have to wait and see at what point those two companies overlap to be the bigger company where they start benefiting from owning both. But they're the same thing kind of that Netflix was saying they're committing to letting it be just under us kind of thing, which there's plenty of companies that have companies under them that say separate all the time. Disney's currently doing it with a bunch of stuff but we all see how that works. The less output thing is another huge concern for me because when you merge these studios, it ultimately means less product for the consumers.
Yeah.
And
I'm not a fan of one company owning both CBS and CNN, regardless of whether it's right wing or left wing. People need choices. They need diverse opinions regardless of what it is. And the less and less of that we have more people controlling more of the media, the less that's going to happen. And then we're basically just, we're left to believe whatever those people tell us, and not necessarily what may be true.
Yeah. And I think we're lucky in a sense because that fair concern. And I think we're lucky in a sense that it's 2026 and it's not 1995 anymore.
Yep.
Because things like CNN, like, let me ask you a serious question here, like not meant to be political. What do you think of the opinions shared on Fox News? Not a specific one, just in a general sense, because it's news commentary. They're sharing their opinions on news. What do you think of the opinions of those on Fox News?
I think that they tend to be towards the right. And
No, I'm just saying, I take it with a grain of salt. I don't care what they have to say.
The same thing with MS Now.
And the same thing with MSNBC and CNN. And I think that's the general nature of like life today is whatever said on CNN or Fox News or MSNBC or NBC, very few people, and fewer every year, take a word they say with more than with a grain of salt, because we actually have, like, even right now with what's going on right now, you don't have to take these news commentary opinion for it, because you're seeing people holding cell phones at the exact thing happening, and people are getting their news from alternate sources.
I think that there's two parts to that. I think there's very little down the middle. I think either people take all of those with a grain of salt, or people take those things as Bible. That's the way it is.
Yeah, but I think that those numbers are so minuscule, you know what I mean? Because all you have to do, because we can look at their ratings numbers, like, and podcasters are burying them, like absolutely burying them on a daily basis. And there's so many podcasters. But I think it's all a dying breed. Like, MSNBC just rebranded to MS Now, because I don't think we're even going to have these broadcast stations in any meaningful way in even a couple of years. It's problematic in theory, but I think in practicality, we're just lucky that it's not 20 years ago kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, I more people need to say, this is the message you're sending, need to question the messenger as much as the message.
Yeah.
Yeah,
legacy media is nothing more than propaganda. 1,000%.
I mean, and they've all been caught like editing stuff out.
Absolutely,
all the time. Yeah. If I wanted to know what Fox News is saying, I'd watch Joe Rogan. Oh, they don't. I don't think they wouldn't get along, buddy. They wouldn't get along at all.
Joe Rogan goes both sides, dude.
I guess in the end, I would rather see neither one of them. I've said this a million times. I'd rather see neither one of them. But I guess in the end, I would rather have two working studios, and Paramount knowing how to run a studio, as opposed to Sarandos, who doesn't, because, I think he just, like everybody else, he says what he thinks people want to hear. He went and he said, yeah, we're going to do 45, day windows. And then it was like the next day it was like, oh, we're doing 30-day windows. And it's like, we'll do 30 if they're good. If not, we'll do 15.
Yeah. I stand with James Cameron on this. And this is something that I highlight in the video that comes out tomorrow. All of the theater companies were hoping for Paramount. A lot of the directors and employees of Hollywood, minus Mark Ruffalo, were hoping for Paramount. James Cameron even told everyone, he's like, y'all, Sarandon is on record saying that movie theaters are dead to him. That's his genuine belief. And he said, if anyone's believing anything he's saying, it's just sucker bait. Like, if you were believing what he was saying, he was pretty much called you a sucker.
Your boy made some calls.
Who, James?
No, Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise made
James Cameron and Tom Cruise saving cinema again.
And said basically, because he basically just signed it. Well, he signed a deal with Warner Brothers to do films now, and he basically told Warner Brothers, if you go with Netflix, you can consider our deal dead. Is what supposedly what he said.
Good. And I only say good because, again, like we're talking about some of the other angles that people look at this through. Ultimately, you're looking at a panel of people that we really want to see what happens. We want to see the movie side of this succeed. Unfortunately, these are mega corporations and they all come with baggage. And especially if you go on social media, you'll see people are pretty much just playing tribal politics with it, which is weird. I understand that. I fully do. But this is our entertainment. This is what we go to get away from that stuff. So it's sad watching how much that's infecting the way that people are even looking at this deal. And none of us truly know this industry to the level and depths that these theaters do, that Tom Cruise does, that James Cameron does. And it's really one of those things where like I'm trusting on the better judgment of the people in the industry that are making these things that, you know, like, I mean, it's on face value. The idea of a streaming service buying a movie studio to me is kind of wild, but I mean, it is a wild world we live in. Big shout out to Gary B, by the way.
He's gifting all of these.
Man's throwing around Legion memberships like they're party favors and a member milestone chat. Good evening. What is up, homie?
He's the Oprah Winfrey of membership to your class. You got a membership. You got a membership.
Yeah,
you got a membership.
He's Oprahing everyone. My local weatherman woman is always wrong about the weather, so I watch Ryan Hall on YouTube for all my serious weather. Dude, me and Pops talk about that on a regular basis because of my job, and I tell Paul this all the time. I watch the weather like a hawk because of my job, working with animals and stuff. It's wildly important, and I have quickly found like where to find reliable weather, and it's definitely not your local meteorologist.
Dude, you need to watch that guy that I put in the chat there on TikTok.
There's one named Max Velocity who's really fun on YouTube as well. I mean, with a name like Max Velocity, you earned a life.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing.
Let's see. In the space we hang out, I have watched alternative media be trained, in my opinion, to talk about box office and not art by How Variety, Rolling Stones, Hollywood Reporter, all owned by one guy. Talk about media. Yeah. And I mean it to a degree. I mean, think of how many people are doing content on such things as movies and stuff. And you're going to find some, I think that's where like they're lining pockets. I think I'd mentioned to somebody, maybe it was on Friday night, 7,000 influencer were reached out and paid by Warner Brothers to positively review Wuthering Heights. So stuff like that is like, because do you remember when I cried foul on Tron Ares, how the reviews for that came out one day early, blanketed, saying the same generic thing, and they came out a day early. I'm like, yo, wait, what is this? How is this a thing? I'm like, okay, something is afoot here. And then the reverse happens for something like Predator Badlands, where this generic, everyone's saying the same core thing and all happening at once, where they just splash the pot trying to just generate momentum kind of thing.
And the Breaking Bad episode is down to 9.6.
But yeah, sound off in the chat. Just who are y'all pulling for? Are y'all happy that Paramount got it? Would y'all prefer to see what Netflix would have done with it? Ultimately them staying their own company would have been ideal, but you have to rewind the clock 8 years ago for that to even be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and honestly, everything is about money nowadays. And when you can buy a company for what, 49 million or 49 billion and sell it for like 110 billion, I think you're doing pretty good.
No, dude, I said it before. David Zaslav deserves every penny he has paid.
I mean, what was he making, like 50 mil or whatever? I mean, not to drop in a bucket for what.
Bro, he's
taking that to the next step, though, is would you feel more comfortable with a company that has grown itself to 300 billion as opposed to a company that is only 17 or 18 billion? You know, would Warner Brothers be around longer with a company that knows how to grow from this company that mails out DVDs to people in red envelopes to a $300 billion company?
Hey,
they're the biggest.
Maybe Netflix is thinking, hey, we'll say no now, and what if Paramount decides, we suck at it, we can buy it in a couple 3 to 5 years.
I said that Friday.
There were rumors that after this closes, Netflix is going to buy Paramount.
Yeah, I said, I don't know if y'all were reading the links chat when all this happened. I said, yo, the big twist in this is Netflix backs out now and buys it all at a later date for cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because ultimately what this battle is for Netflix, it's a battle for IPs. Yeah. They don't care about movie theaters. They don't care about making movies. Netflix, despite I genuinely think like they're such an impressive company on paper. And I genuinely think a lot of that is due to being the first. They were the first one to market. They were the first one to stream, and they had the longest running head start. I mean, a country mile. But you got to think they were streaming for like nearly like a decade before you get your first competitor up. And at that point, like you're not even a competitor. You're just another thing.
I mean, if they buy all of that, I mean, what are the antitrust laws going to say about that? Then you'll have the House of Mouse versus Netflix and their powerhouse. You know what I mean?
That'll be it.
That'd
Because
be crazy.
that was the argument that I made is like, despite them growing that big, I don't know, maybe it's on us as consumers that we settle for whatever, because despite Paramount having the laundry list of IPs they have at their disposal with Transformers, Sonic, TMNT, countless, despite Warner Brothers being an American institution with Looney Tunes and DC and countless other things, Netflix, that doesn't have a single iconic franchise, with the closest thing to it being Stranger Things, which is now over, still has grown. Like, it's like people just, like, there's this kind of imbalance, because you have Hollywood can't make a successful anything unless it has a built-in fan base, and Netflix can't make one to save their lives. It's kind of weird. So they were wanting to buy this so that they can just bring built-in fan bases to their platform.
I'm interested to see what Netflix can do now that Stranger Things is over and a lot of their bigger shows have ended or are ending. You know what I mean? Like, we'll see, because like you said, they are lacking IP for sure.
Yeah, but they just
Disney is now the only major art house in the world not owned by war profiteers.
Right. So you have Paramount, Warner Brothers, Sony, Universal, and Disney. Those are the big five. Big five movies. Disney, Paramount, Warner Brothers, Sony, and
Universal.
I
didn't put Sony on here, Apple or Amazon, because they were never participating.
But Sony is a movie studio.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I wish I had one.
Apple is not a movie studio.
No. Neither is it. Well, Amazon is, because they own MGM.
Yeah, they own MGM. Yeah, but MGM has very little. They basically are just an IP movie studio.
Oh, wow. With James Bond.
With James Bond and Stargate.
They got some stuff. It's an interesting era. Everything's shaken up on its head, and they're all owned by war profiteers. Mm-hmm. That's like a legit statement. Yeah, because their companies are so big. Like, when you break down all the different things that they do, you can find them all over the place. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ronnie says, I don't do Netflix, but have Paramount, so all good in this hood. Mike says they both have pluses and minuses. Yeah. What's going on, Mad Spidey? Happy late birthday. Make sure y'all all DM Mad Spidey. If you did not tell him happy birthday, tell him happy birthday. It's never too late.
It's morphine time.
Yeah. Paramount has supposedly, there's a rumor that Paramount says they're going to release 30 movies from Paramount and Warner Brothers.
I thought they said 15 for me. Oh, is it 30 from each? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
teenage as well, but
again, they're saying everything that you want to hear them say. Right. So is Netflix. We'll see what they do, and ultimately they'll do it for at least a couple of years, because that's how long it'll take to even like the natural adjusting to even like merge these things would take years to begin with, you know. So we'll see how it all plays out, and in the end of it, they're all just like war profiteer or not. They are companies with their primary goal is to make money, so they're going to do what's right by their company. If Paramount closes the deal, they have now paid UFC $7.7 billion in whatever WB calls. Seems like they owe more than they are now worth. Right? Yes, big time.
Just buying Warner. We looked at this before. Just buying Warner Brothers, they're going to be paying more for Warner Brothers than they're going to be buying a bigger company than they are now, which is insane in capitalism.
Yeah, it's super crazy. But that's the mountain of debt that Warner Brothers is sitting on, and it's absolutely bananas. Bananas. What is going on, E-Man? Have you talked about Monarch yet? Not yet. We're going to be getting into that here in just a few minutes. At the top of modern finance firms like BlackRock, Vanguard, or you're talking about like evilness. Yeah, these people own these companies. See, I've had numerous conversations and arguments with people like pointing out like who own, like these people own BlackRock and Vanguard. And they're like, no one owns those companies. They're investment firms. And they're like, bro, like get your head out of the sand. Like get your head out of the sand. You go up high enough, I'm telling you, like money's tricky for a reason, but people are ultimately at the top of these things. I promise you. I'm right there with you, AR. Right there with you. Yeah, and countless different avenues, my dude. Countless avenues. Oh, birthday boy. As consumers,
Hey,
you should lay any complaints going forward at their feet. I think we
happy
kind of
birthday,
do
man.
to
Happy birthday,
the
Matt Brady.
to the degree that we can, right? Yeah, exactly, Pops. Exactly. 1000%.
And we were talking to. There's still, I mean, there's still a lot that Paramount has to do in order to be able to purchase them, because there's not only the regulatory in the United States, there's the regulatory in Europe with the EU that they have to do. Then states. There was a story that California Attorney General is looking at whether or not they're going to be the merger could be breaking some laws. So states can also put in antitrust.
Dude, I wish they would have stopped Disney from buying Fox.
Mhm.
And like, cause like we talked about, that's the line in the sand. Like, I mean, that's what they're going to reference back. Like they're going to use it for like case law. They're like, this company that's bigger than we are. If we absorb all of Warner Brothers, we're still not as big as that company that you allowed to do it. So obviously maybe they'll nitpick some stuff like with CNN or whatever, but
Yeah, they can do things. Say, we'll approve it, but you have to divest certain parts of the company or whatever. And that was the other thing too, is Netflix was not taking any of the cable companies.
just the
They were
IPs.
just the IP and the movie studio.
Yep.
And the streaming.
I thought that Netflix had bought their first studio in the last year, and that Electric State was the first film out of Netflix owned studio.
I want to say that they financed it, but they don't necessarily have their own movie studio.
Okay. So that was in like testing the waters kind of thing.
Could be, yeah.
Just watched Shelter today, the new Jason Statham movie. It was good, but the ending was meh. Well, let me direct you to a fantastic movie on Netflix called Gunslingers, starring Stephen Dorff, Nicolas Cage, and Heather Graham. If you're looking for A+ cinema, look somewhere else. But if you're looking for a good time, one of the funniest, so bad it's good movies, and you just want to look at what Netflix has to offer, I'm saying all of this seriously. I watched the worst movie I've seen in the past decade, and I loved every minute of it. You go into it knowing that, and you'll see how did you describe Nicolas Cage as an actor, Paul?
He's the most overacting actor I have ever seen.
Is it interesting, this book? It's this Bible. You should try it. Read it. It's good.
I'm looking for.
You mean that?
My God.
I do mean that.
That's in a movie?
Of course it is.
No.
There's fire in hell, Mary. Hot fire.
Oh my God, dude. We got the Austin Powers girl and then that on the other side.
I said I wasn't a big Nicolas Cage fan, and I said, but in all fairness, my favorite Nicolas Cage is when Andy Samberg would do Nicolas Cage on Saturday Night Live.
Yo, I'm telling y'all, this movie is so fun, dude. Now, it's not just all Nicolas Cage the whole time. He's just a character in an ensemble cast. So, like, you get these little scenes like that with him where he's, like, intentionally over the top with this caricature of this character that he did. And I was talking to Becker, like, no one probably told him to do that. Like, that's probably just him deciding to do it. But it's a fun, just cheapo Western direct-to-video kind of thing. But yep, watching that tonight. I'm telling you, you'll enjoy it. Go in, like, I'm glad I shared those clips. You go in knowing what you're signing up for, and you can have a blast with it. You go from 1995 CGI to immediate like 4K drone scenic shots, and it makes your brain have like a collision in real time. You're like, what's happening? It's written so bad. I told Paul there's a point in the beginning, like it takes place in 1903, and these guys are talking about how Robert E. Lee's going to get the troops and rise back up and take the North back. I'm like, they didn't check, but he died like 30 years before then. Like, the writing is so bad. It is hilarious. Now I gotta watch that. It looks terrible, but funny. It is. Cage is definitely out there. Shia LaBeouf was beaten up and arrested again.
Mardi Gras.
Yeah, Mardi Gras got the best of absolute Cage. Yeah, Heather Graham. Yeah, that's a plus. Nick Cage always fun, dude. I enjoy it. Yeah, it was crazy. Dear God, that looks like trash. I'm in. Yes, dude. I'm telling you, it was.
Expect to see that on your list, DVH.
Yeah, that we need to see the hoots, and then we'll be watching for it at the end of the year as well. Dude, I sit there when he posts those every year, and I go through every one of them, and I'm always astounded by not how many movies he watches. I watch a lot of movies, but how many he watches that I haven't heard of that one. I have to look and seeing how they're all like B and C rate horror movies over the decades and stuff. It's really cool. He has the most interesting list out of anybody. You know, a lot of us will have overlap. Not that guy.
Nope.
Not that guy. Blazing his own trail. But yeah, I thought that was worth sharing. Nicolas Cage. Gunslingers. So this brought to you by the studio that said they were going to save cinema. Gunslingers.
That looks awful. Absolutely awful. I cannot believe that is out for consumption. That's
brand
insane.
new. Brand new,
That's
polished,
freaking
hot off
insane.
the press.
Did you say polished?
Polished. Yeah,
That's wow. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing.
I don't trust many people when it comes to movie recommendations. Mark isn't one of them. Adding this to the queue tonight. Yeah, I'm honest with you. I'm honest with people. I'm very honest. It's not good, but you can have a ton of fun watching it. I told Paul, like, I'll talk about it more later, let people watch it, but it's so bad that I've applied a potential time travel theory to it that they did not intend for that to happen, but just to make some things make sense, I've applied a time travel theory to it. He does. Blazing his own trail. Please tell that to my wife. Oh man. You got to watch Send Help. Oh, yeah, I do want to see that.
Oh,
one.
dude, that does look good. Of Dylan O'Brien and Rachel McAdams.
Rachel McAdams.
Yeah.
I heard nothing but good things. All right, Game of Thrones, Night of the Seven Kingdoms. The finale happened. What y'all? You haven't watched it.
Not.
Paul, what did you think of the six
I want to hear it.
miniseries, Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
I loved it. I loved it. The only question I have, and it's not just the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, but why is it whenever people pass away or when their ghost goes on, they have to walk through wheat?
I saw this really cool comparison photo of a still shot of him turning into the wheat on the white horse.
Mhm.
And the other photo was from Fast and Furious at the end of number 7, the one where Paul Walker passed. And it was the white car going off, and they had them side by side. I'm like, that's kind of cool. You know, I grew up liking the Fast and the Furious. Well, I think I was an adult when they started for the most part, but I enjoy those terrible movies. And that Paul Walker death was, man, that hit. But I really liked the end of it, the way they did the walk into the wheat thing.
Yeah, I mean, but like, isn't it? Was it Gladiator that they?
Oh, Gladiator defined walking in wheat.
Right,
it did.
Yeah.
Maximus walked through wheat, so Bruce Wayne could walk through wheat. So Clark Kent could walk through wheat.
Right.
So the knight, this hedge knight, could walk through wheat.
But it was great. It did exactly what it's supposed to do. It makes you want more. It sets up the second season. It does, all of the type of things. It has a twist right at the very end that you don't see coming necessarily.
Kind of cute, kind of a cute twist, a little fun, a little funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. It was really a cool down episode, a proper epilogue. Right. We had the big fight in the last episode, and they did some cool stuff like recognizing the value of Dunk and asking, like, hey, can my son squire for you? I know it's crazy, but we'll take you in. Like, because we were all nervous after like the Nice King died. Like, oh my God, what's going to happen to this guy? But they recognized his value with his valor. And did I miss the breakdown of Gunslingers? Are you kidding me? How are you going to show up late to a show where we're reviewing Gunslingers?
It's interesting, this book. It says Bible. You should try it. Read it. It's good.
I'm looking for...
Yes, you did, Becker. Yes, you did.
Gotta love Becker.
Yeah, but yeah, they did a good job with that, and that was a huge relief of tension. I'm glad that the show's written so well. Like, it wasn't like here's an opportunity and he's just like, yeah, I'll take it. He's like, no, I don't think I want that job. Your family's terrible. And we got that flashback of him with the headshot. He was never knighted, which calls back to the battle episode when he wouldn't knight that other guy to join their fight. You're like, why is he nervous about doing that? And Baratheon had to do it because he's got so much damn honor that he didn't want to do something that he can't do. Yeah,
I mean, it's right, because everything he spent the first half of the season wanting, which was to actually be a knight and in fighting, and like he found out that, you know what, 99% of those people aren't really what he wants to be.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, he's like the only honorable one. I like the ultimatum he gave. Like, yeah, I'll let him squire, but we're going out. We're not staying in the kingdom. We're not doing that. He's going to go out and learn the hard way what it means to live. And he's like, oh, you wanted to not have for this or that. He's like, well, look at your other kid, man. Like, you really want him to stick around. And it was cool that Egg ultimately just ran away again. Said, hey, my dad said to catch up with you, and you're supposed to squire me. He said, deal. And he's like, oh, cool. And Dunk, such a gullible, nice guy, didn't think.
Did he really?
We should go tell him bye or something.
Yeah.
It was just, what a great little episode. We'll go see the 7 kingdoms. 9, sir.
Yeah.
Wait, what? There's 9 kingdoms.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a great show, man. I think it's definitely it's in my short list already for show of the year. If we're being honest, like my bias can already tell you what the show of the year is going to be, but this one's going to be probably compete for number 2. Definitely going to be competing for number 2. But yeah, the finale, it's gotten so many more views since then, but the finale drew 9.5 million viewers. That's strong for people showing. I'm not counted in that. I don't watch it in real time kind of thing. Season 2 is confirmed. And what did you say about the showrunners and the show moving forward?
Basically what he's saying is that he wants to, because they're only doing like 6 episodes and each one is only 30 minutes, they're really trying to make sure that every year another season comes out, so you don't get like 3 or 4 years between seasons like happens with other Game of Thrones, series. So
that'd be awesome. Super awesome. And with it being just 3 hours, I mean, they can pull it off. There's there was no huge set pieces or special effects. I mean, they were out in the woods at a tournament the whole time, so it was perfect for the story, I guess. 9.5 is insane in this day and age. Yeah. Unless you're on Netflix and you can just drop like Kitty Karen's season 37, episode 4, and it gets like 300 million viewers somehow. Like, Netflix is massive, people. Like, it's crazy. Kaijus versus Dragons. Yeah. Well, House of the Dragon season 3 will be out later this year, and then it's game time. Then it's really, I love that show. Well, this was a blast.
Did you see that tweet that person put out? They were like, hey guys, I'm trying to name my son something that ends in O-N, and please come up with something better so I don't have to name my son Dragon or Dragon from House of the Dragon.
AR says the greatest night in the history of the realm wasn't a night. Say what you want about that, R.R. Martin, but that son of a bee, no story structure. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, dude, I completely get why like you were so drawn to these stories from him. Because going from like just the dire, harsh, just brutality of Game of Thrones and House of a Dragon, this just despite this being brutal and rough and dangerous, it felt very lighthearted. Like, if all you've ever seen of Game of Thrones is this, you would not think it's lighthearted. But if you've seen the other stuff, when you watch this, it feels lighthearted. But man, it was really well done. I'm excited for more. I'm gonna have to check and see when we're getting the House of the Dragons thing. Hopefully that'll be sooner than later. I know it's this year though, right?
Yeah, it's like June or something, I think.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we just got that trailer like the other day or like a week ago or whatever, and it looked pretty good.
Dude, that show is so good. We got Spider-Man Noir coming up, I think, at the end of this month, right?
June. House of Dragon season 3.
Okay, I thought it was in April for Spider-Man Noir, but I can look real quick.
Spider-Man Noir is May 27th. It's my birthday. How many times do I have to tell you guys that?
Oh, that's
I can remember your birthday, but I can't remember that part. May 27th. That's a big day.
Unless you have MGM Plus, which I'm sure everyone has, in which case you get it like a day too early.
Yeah, that's slick. Amazon owns MGM and runs MGM Plus. See that these places do keep things separate. Not only do they have MGM Plus, they are encouraging people to go subscribe to it to watch Spider-Man a day early. And being that they're dropping it all at one time, I bet they'll see a massive boost in MGM Plus subscribers. Cage as the lead in Spider-Man Noir will be interesting. I'm all for it. Yeah, I'm all for it.
I want to see him use
Paul is not all for it, but he will be there.
I want to see him use the same voice in Spider-Man Noir.
That would be insane, dude. If he did, I would like it even more.
There's fire in Hail Mary. Hot fire.
Hot fire.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Are you guys gonna watch the black and white or the color version?
black and white.
Black and white.
I'm not even going to go back and watch the color version. I might watch
You
on
are.
YouTube.
Tomorrow's got to be black
Yeah,
and white.
I might watch some
I gotta do
YouTube.
color if it's available. I gotta do it.
I might watch some YouTube clips in color, but I'm doing black and white. Like that's
All right,
that's
you
the only
guys
that's like
do
the
you.
biggest draw for me is that makes it different and creative. Like I've seen Spider-Man swing. I've seen Spider-Man swing for the past like what 3-4 decades almost. I want to see this crazy 1930s fedora in black and white, feeling like I want to feel transported there, and that's part of the draw for me is to feel transported there. I get it. People don't watch it how they want to watch it. And even the color palette is made to look like that weird Technicolor or whatever. But me, I'm going black and white. DVH said, I just rewatched the scene where Cersei is assaulted by Jaime next to her son's corpse. Knights of the Seven Kingdoms is a laugh riot in comparison. It really is, dude. It's crazy. I guess after Ghost Rider 2. But is it black and white and have that old film grain look? Yeah, it does.
It looks
Like
cool.
Werewolf by Night, I'll watch both black and white and color. With Werewolf by Night, that was just one special, and they released the color like a couple of weeks later. With this, I think they're dropping both of them simultaneously, aren't they?
That was so good, and that actually like gives me a lot of hope for the Batman, not the Batman, the Clayface movie by WB. Like that, like if they can do it similar to that, I think they're on to something.
What, the Werewolf by Night, the horror vibe thing?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot too. They've done pretty well with those spotlights. Wonder Man fell under the spotlight banner.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Spider-Man Noir has the Sin City feel. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
question. Would anybody actually want to watch Sin City in full color? Because I know I wouldn't. Because you know how they have like the Yellow Man was yellow, and they have
Right.
they have color elements from time to time. Very rarely, but
I don't think you could. I mean, Sin City would not be the same, and
it wouldn't look right.
it totally adheres to the comic version as well.
Mhm. Yeah, Spider-Man Noir doesn't have that. I know with the Spider-Verse cartoon movie, they had Spider-Man Noir in black and white, but I don't think his comics are black and white, are they? I've never bought or opened one.
I'm not sure.
Simon, are the interiors of Spider-Man Noir black and white? I don't know why I never thought to ask anybody that. I know the covers are in color. I mean, I've seen plenty of covers. They just look like regular comic books. Huh. All right, moving on. You ready to talk about the big one?
Yeah.
We're going to spend the next few minutes talking about my most anticipated TV show since the last time it aired. We're going to spend this time not just talking about it, but trying to convince Steve why he should commit some time to watching it, because I think he'll enjoy it.
Hello.
3 seconds, guys.
Hello.
3 seconds.
He must be on
What do you
Whatnot.
got?
He's got to be on Whatnot.
Let's see. We got Monarch Legacy of Monsters Season 2 has aired on Apple. Oh my gosh, I don't have any on me to check. That's fair. Somebody's got to know. Does anybody read the book? I know it's Marvel right now, so I mean that's asking a lot. We only got 14 people
Dude.
watching. So the odds of somebody in the chat actually reading the book are actually super low now that I mention it.
Marvel's putting out better books.
numbers are no. These are just
Numbers don't
statistics.
matter. The Eisners don't matter. Marvel's doing it better.
All right, you got a big recap at the beginning of this. Take you back through season 1 a little bit. You know, the trip to Antarctica where they figured out there's the different little gravitational anomalies. Ultimately, ending in that epic battle with Godzilla and the Ion Dragon. For those that forget, you remember that Ion Dragon was first mentioned and talked about in Kong Skull Island, the third installment in the Monsterverse, all those years ago. Monarch was boss. I loved it, but I needed Godzilla. But then everything needs Godzilla. I don't necessarily disagree with that. I think that this was a perfect first episode. The intro to it. You got a brand new intro to this season. This season, which picks up, by the way, right where we left off.
Mhm.
The big twist at season 1 is that when they came out of Access Monday, Steve, you've seen some of the movies, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I saw the Godzilla versus King Kong movie.
Perfect, right there. You got the surface, and then you got Hollow Earth. What the
Yep.
show has introduced is, they go through those tunnels and the crazy gravity field that pulls you down to Hollow Earth. What they introduced in the show is there is a place between. It's called Axis Monday. It's like ties into like old mythical legends and lore in the real world. Then this place between is where kaiju and titans are and stuff like that. And that's where that big battle in season 1 happened at. And when they got out of that place, there's a little bit of time displacement due to the gravity. You know what I mean? You've seen like how they have to travel in those ships because of how harsh the gravity is. Gravity messes with time. So when the season 1 takes place between the first Godzilla movie and the second one, when they come out of Axis Monday, it seems like they're on the other side of King of the Monsters. Now they're right before Godzilla versus Kong. So it's kind of cool in that sense that now this season has kind of moved up to where it exists in the timeline, which I thought was super, super duper smart. Went back and watched a review. I am confident this community can make that train wreck of a movie trend this week. Oh man, I hope it does. I hope it does. Simon says episode 1 was fire. And I've talked to Simon. He doesn't typically watch too much week by week. And he said he's got to watch it week by week. He needs to see the next episode. We did get some badass Kong stuff though, so I was happy. We got a lot of Kong stuff.
The only question I had was when they were in the past, when they went to that place that had all the people there that were kind of like looking at them like real, and they saw that thing that was above the bar. It's like
Yes.
none of them said that looks like a giant horseshoe crab to me.
I think they did say that. One of them said that. Is it like some kind of I think
maybe I missed that.
Yeah, he said, what is it, some kind of old crab? Because I was thinking the same thing, because we wrestled a horseshoe crab up off the ocean floor one time, which it was a big fight. And those things are very, very hard to not recognize when you see one.
Right. But it is much more badass than a horseshoe crab.
It is, yeah, but it looks a little more dangerous. Good God. Stephen with the C says that the interiors are in color. Noir interiors are color for the most part. I did see some of those black and white. There you go. So it picks up right where it left off with them showing, like, they come out of Access Monday and they're on Skull Island. So the end of season 1, the big stinger was that Kong was entering the TV show, because it was just Godzilla in season 1. And they're with Apex. They're with the company that built Mechagodzilla. Monarch is not the only game out there. There's competitors trying to take advantage of and profit off of and develop from the emergence of these titans. So they're with Apex right now, and Kong shows up at the end of season 1, and immediately, apparently, he starts tearing stuff up, and we don't know why. You just kind of assume that he's just attacking all the people because they're on his island, kind of thing. You get some wicked cool stuff, and you get probably one of the craziest shots of the whole episode, which I actually clipped out. So in case you're wondering if the special effects look good in this show, now you know.
They spent some money. They spent some
money. Looks like a arthropod fossil. Muted colors with lots of grays. But yeah, so we get the whole introduction there, and they get off the island. You get your cool little intro, and then we kind of check on who Paul pointed out, the hardest working woman in show business, who came out of Access Monday with her. Lawson assumed dead in season 1, falling into one of these caverns, found in Access Monday at the end of season 1, and returned back to the surface world from 1950 to the 2000 teens. What's her name? May?
Keiko?
Keiko. I was way off. Samsonite. I was way off.
Keiko.
I was thinking that.
Yeah, dude, super legit. Yeah, Paul, do you want to explain how she is now the hardest working woman on the show?
She's the only one of all the main characters who has to appear in basically every scene, because she is both in the past and the present at the same time.
And she's in the flashbacks and the main timeline.
She better be getting paid more.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. We get introduced to where she's at, though. They're on a this really cool mobile command center for Monarch here, which
18.
yeah, which I thought that was cool because we see all this cool Monarch technology and stuff that really increases in how advanced it is through the movies. The Flying Fortress and King of Monsters, the underground oil rig fortress that you see, all the different containment stuff that they have around the portals. And you actually get to see a mobile one here. So that was super cool. And this is what they have off the coast of Skull Island because of the storm that rages around it, the eternal storm that slowly, ultimately, they teach us in Godzilla versus Kong that the storm moved in on the island and ravaged it. The little girl's the only local on the island that's still alive. They had to get Kong off the island because of that. And the storm in this, when they talk about it in this episode, how it's moving in. So it's something that they recognize, like where the writers of Gunslingers don't pay attention, the writers of this do pay attention.
But
What is going on, Brother
one-
John?
one-
46
one-
months stream.
Once again, the main characters do not heed my warning that do not go into clouds that have lightning going from cloud to cloud.
They
Bad things
definitely
happen.
don't. Bad things definitely do. Big villain reveal will be BlackRock trying to buy up the lots on Skull Island. Exactly. And then we jump into our first flashback after they kind of get their bearings. They're concerned, like all the friends get together and they're like, hey, we have to go back down there because our friend Lee is missing. Lee Shaw, Kurt Russell's character, is actually featured in the DC comic books now at this point. He was assumed dead at the finale of the last episode. He let go of the little vessel that they were traveling through so it could get enough weight to get off the ground and assumed dead. But they don't want to give up on him. That's the leader of Monarch right there, at least of this faction of Monarch. Ultimately, Ken Watanabe is in charge of Monarch. But if this is after King of the Monsters, he's no longer with us. So she is she's the leader of Monarch, and she's saying, no, we can't do that. That's a little sketchy. We get our little flashback where we get our Kurt Russell, Kiko, and the guy from Workaholics there. That's young John Goodman's character.
Right. Wyatt
Randall.
Russell, not Kurt Russell, Wyatt Russell.
Yeah, Wyatt Russell, Kiko. And so you have young Shaw, Kiko, and young John Goodman from the Monsterverse there, who this is your original Monarch team. For those that haven't seen any of it, this is the original people that were exploring the Titans. And you have two scientists and a military hand. So you got a little bit of muscle. And they're following legends, lore of sea dragons in this area that have been reported forever to be in these waters. So they want to go talk to the locals and get some information. The locals are not having it at all. They find this crazy little shrine in the middle of the camp here. And blood all over it, symbols on it. They want to investigate, go into a little bar. Let's see if we get the little thing on the wall here. The horseshoe crab. Because this is really like our first sign of the little Titans, ain't it? Is the horseshoe crab hanging up in the bar.
We saw what looked like some of them running on Skull Island.
Yeah, when they go back and check the footage, yeah. So this thing is somehow associated with whatever sea creature is here. So they get some harebrained ideas. They go back to Skull Island on their own while she's resting and healing, and they want to go get the technology that's on the island and open the portal, see if they can save Shaw. They don't want to just leave him. A little bit of drama. They steal some boats, and they do exactly what Paul tells them not to do. And they go drive it through the storm onto Skull Island. And you get some really cool shots, and we actually get shots of other Titans.
Giant crabs.
Yeah, the giant crabs from season 1, episode 1 that were fighting on the island with John Goodman, who's in season 1 for some brief times. So giant crabs and lobsters and sea creature type things are kind of clutch with Godzilla, and they don't really use that many Toho characters in this. You have Godzilla, you have Mothra, you have Ghidorah, you have Rodan, but other than that, you have Titans exclusive to this universe, and that kind of gets some of the ability to do that, just making giant creatures, and they get and make a few of their own. Look, it does look like a sacrificial altar. That's what I was thinking. Bill Randall was John Goodman's character in Kong Skull Island. Correct. Yes. That's a kaiju tick. That's what I'm thinking. And what I compared it to is Godzilla 1985, or when the opening scene of that, the guy on the fishing boat that's attacked by the giant Godzilla tick, and he had to sit there and stab it with a knife, and it made that weird squeaking noise the whole time. So they've been in lore before, but it's not a Godzilla tick. We do get to see what it is by the end of the episode. But they go to the island. They almost get killed a few times just traveling through this incredibly dangerous spot. There we go.
Pretty nasty thing that comes almost kills them.
Yeah, it's a terror vulture, I think is what they called it. It shocks its prey, then bites it and kills it. And this thing is like a predator. They just killed this thing just to go to the ground and eat some grub. It's just creepy critters. And we run into a few different things on here on their little journey back. Back in flashback mode, they kind of touch base with the waitress who kind of shows some signs of being nice to him, so she'll give him some information, and they decide to take her up on it. She later walks him out of the bar and tells him about some stuff and things. On their journey, this was a great scene. They come up to Kong sleeping. And what was super cool about this is how it ultimately ends. You get this shot where Kong rolls over, and it looks like old girl is about to die. And it's practically an homage back to Godzilla 98 with Animal, the cameraman, when he's sitting there in the famous scene screaming as Godzilla's foot comes down and he's between his toes, because the hand comes down and she's between the fingers, which I thought, man, that's super cool. Like the little details like that. Meanwhile, they figure out that they skipped off to the island, so they have to go chase after him. They figure out that King Kong was responding to one of those tick things. Old girl in the bar decides to take him to give him the information. Meanwhile, they get back to their stuff that was destroyed by Kong on Skull Island and want to open up the portal to Access Monday and hope that they can get Lee back. It gets a little hairy trying to do it. It really does. Let's move forward through this a little bit. Let me see if I can catch it. Man, it's hard to catch, but there it is. That. Mm-hmm. So she takes them down into a cave and shows them their legend. In here, those what we're calling them horseshoe crab ticks, right? That sounds logical. Horseshoe crab kraken ticks. They're actually fossilized up on the wall and stuff. And she shows them these cave drawings of this thing. It's dubbed Titan X. We've talked about it here on the channel. It's the big kaiju that's built in for this show. So they have legend and lore to it. And she talks about how it comes like once a year or something, and it brings the bounty of the sea with it or whatever. So I'm like, dude, is this Aquaman on the King Tide? Is that what we're doing? Meanwhile, they fire up the technology, open the gateway. Kurt Russell's alive. He's down there fighting for his life. He sees it, and he gets ready to make a run for it. But in the process of doing it, something else is right next to the portal, and it wakes up. And it's Titan X. Mm-hmm. Big old thing, but lo and behold, along with it are those little cracking crab tick fossil thingies. So they're all running, they're all reacting to the portal. They're all on the way. I'll get a good shot of this thing, because this thing is wicked. So that's how Titan X gets here, is they went to go get Kurt Russell, and unfortunately they brought Titan X through the portal. This thing is nasty. Oh, and he's in the little bubble on his way fighting for his life from one of those tick thingies. Yeah. So the little cephalopod ticks, they're a little bit rough. He ultimately kills it, stabs it a few times. Let's see if we can get the big swing here.
I gotta go put my kid to bed, dude. I gotta go. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, you're good.
This looks fun. I'll give it a whirl sometime.
Definitely do. So yeah. King Kong responds. He heads there. He does. Our brother. He doesn't get there before the Kraken is kind of Titan X is out of there. It walks off. The leader of Monarch. She actually gets killed by it just swinging one of its tentacles. Technology's gone, so I guess we're not going back to Access Monday at all this season, because Kong took out the tech for that.
Yeah, they must have one in another warehouse somewhere.
They got to, right? Because you made the comment. There's a good chance that the Russells are sharing screen time this season, right?
Yeah.
I wonder how else they would pull that off. The Asian woman on YouTube would cook and eat that sucker in a heartbeat. But he chases it all the way down to the water's edge. Kong don't play. He was protecting Skull Island, responding to it immediately. He's mad at them.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of Kong stuff. That's what's so cool about Kong. You get a lot more like, I don't know, personality than you do with a giant lizard. So he's definitely not having it. Yeah, he's pissed at them.
Yeah.
He's super pissed at them. I eat it. It tastes like steak. Yeah. But ultimately, dude, like, and that doesn't do much justice. But that was pretty much the premise for that's more than the premise. That's what happened this episode. And I got to tell you, from picking up where we left off was so smooth. I appreciate that. It wasn't a big time jump. They do a great job balancing all the characters in the two timelines. I love the two timeline things because it really feels like two separate shows, but it marries properly. You get the investigative, like Indiana Jones-esque, let's explore, let's discover kind of stuff in the flashbacks, and the lore and the lost civilization stuff that's kind of included in the legendary stuff. But you also get like the crazy modern day stuff with Kong running around on Skull Island, people fighting for their lives. It's just they really hit a lot of like the core notes with this first episode, and they did it a lot.
Yeah, and there's a lot more action in this first episode than there was in the last season's first episode, but that's to be expected because you got to introduce all the characters, that you're bringing in, and set up the story and everything. Here, they jump right in. So
yeah, that's a good point. The formatting to the first season was every episode was a different character highlight as well. They did a through line. Well, one episode would be Kentaro, one would be his girlfriend, one would be May, one would be, and you kind of see how they're all like affected by Godzilla and their lives are connected by the dad who had the two families. And this one, it starts with them all together. They found their dad. They went and got Kurt Russell back in the first episode, which I got to tell you, I was sitting there rooting. I'm like, go, go, go. Like I was excited to see him get back. He's like obviously the star of the show. I mean, it's Kurt Russell, and he does a damn good job with it too. But we've seen the trailer for this. We know what to expect with the amount of coolness that's to come, especially with the kaiju stuff. And I think what this show does so well, because people complain all the time. I follow a lot of Godzilla stuff. And people complain all the time. We don't care about the humans. Just give us the monsters. And that's not how stories work. That's not how movies work. That's not how Godzilla franchises work. Not the first one didn't even work like that. Go back to 1954. Like they're telling you a human story and a cautionary tale of nuclear proliferation. Like chill, people. What works best is a balance where you have human characters you care about and these great monster battles and stuff. Now, I think New Empire did great just being a rock'em sock'em fast pace, but we still had fun human characters in there. And this show does a human character angle, I think, so far the best out of the monster verse, in my opinion. The story was compelling. I care about the characters. You got an audible gasp out of me when the leader of Monarch just got wiped off the earth. I'm like, oh, I didn't expect that to happen. It was cool. I usually don't like switching timeline stuff, but with this, it works 100%. And they do stuff like go to like shut down old Russian nuclear sites, but it was shut down, but why was it shut down? Like in Transformers where they go to Chernobyl, and they just never came back because they actually had that tech in there, it's cool when you do like that kind of stuff with these forbidden places you can't go to and stuff. I don't know. That kind of storytelling would work if they hired better kaiju actors. Hey, they did good with the King Kong actor. We need Doug to show up. We need Doug to show up, and then it's a true MonsterVerse show. The little four-legged dog creature from Hollow Earth. He was in like one single shot in Godzilla vs. Kong, and he became like a fan favorite out of nowhere. And they brought him back for New Empire, and he was like Kong's little buddy that they were eating together at the beginning. Apple TV produced a lot of TV series. People only subscribing to watch Ted Lasso, Severance, The Morning Show, The Studio. Don't forget Shrinking. Shrinking gets a huge audience. But yeah, we talk about it often.
Foundation. What's the other one that has the different
Silo.
Silo?
Yeah, we talk about it a lot. Apple TV is the most slept on streaming service, bar none. Everything that's on that app, every single show is of the highest caliber and quality. Everything might not be your preferred genre. You might want comedy, you might want monsterverse, you might want sci-fi, but everything you watch will be of the highest quality. I honestly don't think anything is touching Apple when it comes to quality. What the we don't care about people folk really mean is that usually is kaiju movies. The people are written poorly. Not so in Monarch. It's excellent. Yeah, and I think also it's like you got again, it's the balance too. If you don't have enough monsters, like if you don't at that point, you really don't care how good the people stuff is. You're like, we didn't get enough fighting in it, kind of thing. And that can be said with any regular action movie, with non kaiju movies. Like this was a good movie, but it was supposed to be an action movie, and there's only one fight in it, kind of thing, I watched the most Apple TV ever tonight. I won't give them a dime. Huh. Why not? The honest question. I honestly don't know. Well, you can tune in here every Sunday night, and we'll keep you up to speed on Monarch Legacy of Monsters Season 2. But you remember how Gareth Edwards did the first Godzilla movie, which is amazing, but people are like, there wasn't enough monster in it. I love the way that they introduced him and rolled him in, where you only saw his foot in this scene and you only saw this, and they slow rolled the big reveal. But then in King of the Monsters, I don't know how anyone can complain about King of the Monsters. You had like multiple Titans in it, all fighting. The whole thing was one giant action piece, basically. But I don't know. Then they kind of just ramped it up when they brought Wingard in to direct them with Godzilla versus Kong and New Empire. They definitely feel a lot more fast paced, geared toward neon lights and monsters and stuff, which I love both of those as well. Oh, good stuff. It's good stuff. It's a fantastic franchise. I love how big the Godzilla fandom is. I have no worry about this franchise going anywhere. We get this TV show this year, Godzilla -0 this year, and then Supernova right on its heels next year. And we'll dive into some stuff about Supernova in the coming weeks as well. It went through a test screening this past week, and there's some confirmed spoilerific stuff. The rumors are true. I'll tell you that. The rumors are absolutely true on who the big bad guy is going to be for Supernova. So we'll dive into some more of that next week. I've seen some cool AI videos that took what came out of the test screenings and put it into an AI trailer based on the test screening information. And that alone was even cool. I mean, I'm at the point where I'm not a big fan of AI taking things jobs, but there's no stopping it. Like you're going to be getting cool AI videos and things like that's just there's no stopping that. I was talking to JMed, Paul, about the inevitability of AI and at what point where the ethical goalposts get moved, because right now in the comic book world, if you get caught doing AI on a cover art, they blacklist you. Our company said no AI, you're blacklisted. James Cameron making Avatar, he made sure people know we didn't use AI. We have artistic, creative people building all of this art on a computer instead of using prompts. Mm-hmm. But at what point would the ethical goalposts get moved? Because it's going to get moved.
Oh yeah,
it just is. Mm-hmm. And with how fast AI is evolving, with the C-Dance 2.0 that came out, when do you think that line's going to get moved?
Probably sooner than we think. Yeah, and I think what'll happen is these AI companies will go to Marvel and say, hey, you know what? We want to use Spider-Man. Let us use Spider-Man. We'll post it wherever we post it. If it ends up on YouTube or wherever it happens to end up, or in a movie theater, we get half, you get half, because it's your IP and it's our AI. And I think that's when you're gonna see the final domino fall.
Yeah, I was talking to him for a while, and he's put a lot of thought into this, and he was thinking about some of the short-sightedness that we have looking at it. He pointed out ultimately, and this is going to be something that happens sooner than any of us think. Ultimately, all these big studios buying each other, this and that, they don't care about these movie studios. They don't care about these streaming platforms. They only care about the IPs.
All IP.
Because here in the very, very near future, when somebody wants to watch something, because you see the kind of, and I'll call it what it is, you see the kind of slop we're all entertained by.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't take much. And if you can sit down and instead of opening Netflix, instead of opening Disney, you can sit down and just open your search engine and type in, I want to watch this for 30 minutes, play. Boom, you're watching whatever your imagination just came up with. You're going to be watching your own personalized videos of whatever you can imagine at that point. And at that point, like that's just what it is. That's a very, very probable direction this is heading, because it's already there.
Absolutely. It's going to be all IP, just like right now, these other companies that you deal with, they don't really care. It's all about your data. It's all about your data.
That's it. Kevin says, I don't see too many people going to see Scary Movie 6 right now. People easily get offended about everything right now. I'm glad you brought that up, dude. Damon Wayans is a freaking genius. We are so back. Scary Movie 6, with the original Scary Movie crew that made Scary Movie 1 and 2. I enjoy all those Scary Movie movies, but the Wayans brothers did it best before it moved over to like the Naked Gun crew. He ran his trailer for Scary Movie 6. I can't remember in front of what movie, but he went and bought a ticket, went in, and he what's it called? Like where you just videotape in the theater? He bootlegged. He bootlegged his own trailer so he could post that online for the first time his trailer gets shared out. Is from where he bootlegged it in the theater. It was freaking brilliant. The trailer looked amazing. And Damon Wayans was in interviews already ahead of time saying, because people were asking him, how are you going to make this movie in 2026? Because it's no secret over the past handful of years, cancel culture got out of hand, clutching pearls got out of hand, people getting too offended about everything got out of hand. It's okay to be offended by something. It's not okay for you to share your offense with somebody else. You can be offended without them having to be offended and lose out what they like. And the Wayans brothers don't care. They couldn't have made it any more clear that they don't care. They were making jokes about like pronouns in the opening of it. They were making like when Cindy, like you have, now was it Regina Hall and Anna Faris? I think the two main characters see each other like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in years. Give me a hug. She goes, I can't. I'm a Republican. I'm supposed to be racist or something. He's like, oh, don't worry. I think all white people are racist. So they're literally just calling out how stupid people act online, which is amazing. And I think that's why it'll definitely work, because ultimately it's really not that many people that get offended by everything. And it never was. It was only loud people that got offended by stuff. And for whatever reason in the world, the wrong people were in too much control at these studios, at these workplaces, and were allowing those loud people to dictate society. And I think the fact that the Wayans brothers are pulling this off shows you that we're past that. And I hope to God everyone goes out and buys this movie, supports it, goes see it at the theaters, because we haven't had good comedies for the past 5 years for the same reason that people get offended all the time. So go support the theaters, support the Wayans brothers. They've been doing nothing but awesome stuff in the industry for decades, and they're back to do something that they know people want. So support them. Go show them that you appreciate it. When people do stuff we want, you got to talk with your money. And then check who they work for, because as AR said, they're all war profiteers. Just know that a small donation is going to the gasoline in a fighter jet. As soon as studios are confident they will make a buttload of money by not using people. Yep. I've seen hundreds of Star Wars done by AI that is far better than anything Disney's done. Yeah, dude, what's his name? Star Wars Theory? Is that his name? Star Wars Theory? He did like CGI ones, not even like with AI, but Dude, the fan-made Star Wars stuff is just fantastic. It's because the stories. It's because they're making fan-made stuff based off the original canon. Like, you can't go wrong doing that. The stories are all there. Results of the experiments they did with several AIs where the AI would lie and sacrifice human lives in any scenario that, yes, yeah, that's been a thing for a while. It's a very vocal minority that gets offended. Yep. Where's this trailer for Scary Movie 6 and where can I watch it? I shared it in some chats. I'll go back and pull it. You should just be able to this on Instagram, search Scary Movie 6 trailer. And if it looks like it's being filmed with someone's cell phone in a theater, that's the right one. We need comedy bad. Yeah. His Vader was amazing. Yeah. Let me see if I can find it for you, buddy. Paul, were the Scary Movies ever a big thing? Because they came out when I was like a teenager and stuff. So they were like huge for my time era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Joseph.
My time was more of the airplane police squad movies.
And I wrote Police Academy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up on those too. I was a little kid watching those. Scary movie. The first couple of scary movies we had to watch without permission. Man, they were wild. I'm excited for them. Yeah, I still want to see the new Anaconda movie. I watched the original Anaconda with the kids. You just have to mute it at one scene, and I know where to mute it. But other than that, it's just a great giant monster movie. But the new one looks hilarious with Jack Black and Paul Rudd. They're in living color horror edition. Oh, the Scary Movie. Number 2 is my favorite. The poltergeist clown gets rear-ended, so to speak. Yeah, I sent you the trailer for number 6. But yeah. You want to hit some books real quick? There was a massive week.
Sure.
You got a stack over there?
I do.
Let's go through it. See what you got. Massive week for books this week. So first off, the DC deep dive for tomorrow. We got Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter that we broke down those two. That'll post on Sector's channel at 10 a.m. 10 a.m.
This is the big one, I think, for me.
Anyway. That the big one? What is that big one?
New history of the DC universe, the Dakota incident.
Technically issue 5. It's a one-shot. We have the Mark Waid wrote the New History of the DC Universe 4-issue miniseries chronicling all of DC Universe from inception to current to catch you up on canon, events, and everything in between. If you're a new fan or old, it's a must-read. And now, after that's released, we get a Dakota incident to explain where, why, how the Milestone characters fit into everything. They were revealed to be canon now. The Milestone characters always existed in their own universe, but now they're canon, and this is the story giving us the details. What do you think, Paul?
I liked it. I mean, you've got Lex Luthor, you've got Amanda Waller, you've got the people that, Will Magnus and the whole Superman project. You've got all of that basically intertwined with Dakota and how the when most of the people in the Milestone universe got their powers.
Yeah, I think the best thing that it did continuity-wise as well is, you remember when the Eternals came out in theaters?
Yes.
Everyone watched it, hated it, and one of the main things they said, where were they during the fight against Thanos? Why didn't they help? This answers that question. Where have the Milestone characters been if they're canon now? Where are they? You get to see like this event that takes place, this fight in Dakota for Dakota that ultimately ends with them being shut down by Lex Luthor and the acting powers that be. And at the end of it, it's kind of like a calling to service of Static, which we saw him revealed in DCKO. The kids are all fight. So I'm excited to see what they do with them next. I don't think we have any official announcement of like any individual titles. They did just have like over the past few years, there's been a significant amount of Milestone stuff that released. They kind of got like, I think they kind of slowly like tapered off with the merging at WB and Discovery era. But yeah, I'm excited to see where they go from here.
Yeah, I feel like the whole. I mean, I feel like in a lot of ways the whole Milestone universe. It started with like a big bang, and then I think when Dwayne
Dwayne
McDuffie
McDuffie
passed
got
away,
rid
that
of.
really kind of stalled it for a long time because then it would seem like they announced it and then it was like it never really happened, and it's kind of done like fits and starts here and there, type of trying to come back.
Yeah, and I don't know how the rights sit for this. Because who owns the characters ultimately? I know they
Uh,
publish under DC, but are they owned, like co-owned or anything by Cohen or anything? Is
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
be interested to find that out because it's wild that even if DC is not doing something directly with them, why aren't they? Why hasn't there been a Static movie? We have the TV show that went for 52 episodes, easy to remember.
Mhm.
But it's kind of wild to think that like DC doesn't front run Static. He's a wildly popular character. A lot of us grew up watching him on television. He gets brought up from time to time. They use him for a little while and then they stop for whatever reason. I don't know like the politics behind it with them, with the ownership. Because I know Milestone was an imprint under DC.
Right.
So I don't know how all that works. But like Virgil is a clear answer to Miles' popularity. Like there's clearly a market for Static in a lot of these black superheroes at DC Comics.
Yeah.
Why isn't Virgil Static like plastered everywhere? Like, why isn't he on the Justice League and stuff?
says that DC Comics owns all the characters because it says all characters are owned by DC Comics Incorporated. So they must have purchased Milestone Media lock,
Well,
stock,
hopefully
and
this is a
barrel.
step in the right direction. I did that video on Static a handful of months back because someone asked James Gunn in an interview on the carpet about like, hey, do you have any idea about bringing Static in? And he had like this. He could have just said, I don't know, but he had this answer like, I don't know. It gets confusing because I mean, where does he exist? And I'm like, my whole point of my video was it's not confusing. He exists in the DC universe, and you just say he pretty much stays in Dakota, which is over there. Dakota doesn't have to be another universe. It can just easily be written as just a place in America in the regular DC universe, like they just did. Like so that's common sense. Like they should I don't know. It seems like a huge waste of potential. So hopefully they do something significant with him now. Characters like Icon are super cool. Like, dude, you have an alien. There's like Superman level powers that's been here since the 1800s, and he's kind of got the exact opposite ideological mindset that you would assume. Like that's potential for great storytelling and conflict and everything. Like, I don't know. You have an answer to Iron Man there with hardware. There's just it's just crazy that they don't do more stuff with them. So maybe this is that happening. Putting him in continuity is just the most no-brainer. Someone like me can think. I don't know about more diehard Milestone fans if they prefer them to be their own thing or whatever. But even then, I would ask if putting them in continuity gets them out there more, gets more books with them, gives them some momentum, makes them a more popular character. Isn't that what you want? Is like you got to build the character back out to a new audience or something? I don't know. What else you got, Paul? Kevin, we covered all the Paramount stuff for an extensive amount of time at the beginning of the stream. If you go back and check it out, ultimately, for a couple of years, they'll definitely keep them separate because at the very least, it takes a long time to merge them. But they've committed to keeping them separate. But who knows in the long run, they'll eventually be one thing probably. What you got there?
Superman.
Issue number 35, legacy number 878, the final issue of Superman in the DC KO tie-in. The end is nigh. Paul, the end is nigh. This takes place right after the what would you call it? The elimination of Superman in the tournament, and the big tease that all that remains is Darkseid, Lex Luthor, and the wild card, which is Doomsday, aka Time Trapper. This has been my favorite tie-in stuff for the whole event is the Superman stuff with Superboy Prime, the Legion of Darkseid. Lois and Superboy Prime have ultimately been in the fortress trying to find any information they can from these Kryptonian archives about what's happening and what they can do to stop it. They got the answer. They've been trying to get the answer to who they needed to get to. They saved it in a Superman robot and were trying to get it to Time Trapper to explain to Time Trapper his role to play in all of this. And the Legion of Darkseid has been trying to fight them and stop them around every corner. This is the big battle, the big finale between them. Luckily, there's a Superboy Prime on the good guys team.
Yes, and the absolute saddened girl finds she has a heart.
Takes a while.
Yeah.
Takes a while. Sharing some memories with Lois kind of got her there. And luckily she found it in time because Superboy was about to rip some heads off, dude.
Right.
Like, please don't. Please. I was like, ugh. You know what? I'm trying not to be that guy anymore.
Yeah.
Like, Superboy Prime ain't the one. He is not the one to try up. Superman.
You are who you choose to be.
Such a great movie.
Yeah.
Such a great movie.
Oswald
Warner
says,
Brothers has produced Black lead series, CW, Black Lightning, HBO, The Watchmen, Lovecraft Country, The Wire. Yeah. Yeah. They need to do more of it in the comics. There's a lot of people in the comic book world asking why, I don't know.
why is right now with DC there's not a comic that has a lead that is
it's very specific. Why isn't there a main universe Black lead ongoing series right now? Because Joe Mullins is a Black female who is the lead star of the ongoing Green Lantern and the absolute Green Lantern, but they say, well, that's absolute, even though the universes are intertwined. In the past couple of years, we had the Black Lightning miniseries, the Mr. Terrific miniseries, the Steelworks miniseries. You have the John Stewart 12 that just ran.
Right now, there's
Renee Montoya, which is a Hispanic character. You have tons of minority.
Right now, you have the Batman Beyond and Static Beyond miniseries going on.
Yeah, but they'll say, but that's Elseworld. There's always a caveat.
Right.
You have Mr. Terrific, who's like in everything. But
he really is.
Michael Holt's like one of the coolest characters that DC has right now, which I got a great cover to share of that when we get there. But yeah, ultimately, Doomsday figures out that he is the Alpha, the answer to the dark side Omega. So he is on the way to address the events of DCKO. Lex Luthor might be there, but this is coming down to a Doomsday versus Darkseid final showdown that was prophesized at the beginning of the inception of this character. So I can't wait. The book is out Tuesday or Wednesday. My bad. Book is out Wednesday, New Comic Book Day. So make sure you go get DCKO number 5, the big finale to all this, and be on the lookout for the new titles that are dropping after that, because in the aftermath of major events, you get jump on points. So be sure to look out for jump on points for new comics.
Yes. Batwoman, Deathstroke, Lobo.
Fury of Firestorm is coming. Jonah Hex is coming. Legion of Superheroes is coming. Barbara Gordon Breakout is coming. Etrigan is coming. I'm going to have to cancel all my pull lists except for DC in order to keep up with all this. It's going to be crazy. Yeah, Superboy Prime has been crushing it, dude. And he'll be front running the Superman book after the
Reign of the Superboys is coming now. Next.
Dude, I'm excited. It's going to be tough. All right, what's next, Paul?
Speaking of Mr. Terrific.
Yes, same cover. The John Jang variant featuring the Terrific 10. This is Justice League Unlimited number 16. Also, the final issue that's a DCKO tie-in. Can you hold that closer up? You got Alan Scott Kingdom Come version on there, Electric Blue Superman, Batman Beyond, Earth 2 Kara, aka Power Girl. You have Hawkworld Hawkman, Peter David's Aquaman, Guy Gardner from his douchebag era, which is pretty much every era except modern. Owl Woman from Watchmen. Like, dude, the list was just killer. This is not only the final issue in what's the Justice League Unlimited KO tie-in, it's also the final issue in what's truly like this long-running epilogue to the We Are Yesterday story arc. 10 displaced superheroes from time and space, or 9, plus Mr. Terrific, are on a suicide mission in hell to stop Neron and his forces of hell from their part into play in the whole DCKO event. It's been one hell of a ride because all these characters that are time displaced are almost like reflections of their real self elsewhere. They know that they have nowhere to go home to. They know that they're ultimately not real in a sense, that they don't have much to lose. So you've had all these big hoorah heroic moments of them kind of dropping one by one through this. And it's been wicked cool. Mr. Terrific outsmarts Neron, which was awesome. And he banked on Owl Woman deep down inside actually having a decent character. And all it took was just to see the efforts of the heroes of Earth fighting till the last drop, not giving up on their enemies, even in the face of certain Armageddon, to come to her senses. And they bested Neron. It was tough. What'd you think?
Yeah, it was great. And Owl Woman develops a heart.
Yeah, that's kind of the theme, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I'm going to miss Superman Blue. This is the most Superman Blue we've gotten in a long time. They're definitely not doing it with John Kent like they keep lying to us. It was super cool watching Batman Beyond really have to step up to a, because like in his future and stuff, I guess he doesn't. I don't know, like he hasn't like dealt with stuff like this before, and just the horrors of being in hell and seeing all that stuff hit him a different way. I'm gonna miss most of all though our hook-handed Aquaman. This was a fun run. Mark Waid did a great job with it.
Speaking of Mark Waid, last DCKO.
Third and final DCKO tie-in for the week. Flash issue number 30. This was kind of heartfelt, wasn't it?
Yeah. You see Barry Allen. Basically, you see Bart, who's willing to give himself up to save Barry, but Barry's not going to let him. But then we see Barry go through what he goes through as kind of Crisis on Infinite Earths, So it was really kind of a great. It brought the Flash. It brought the Flash, and why the Flash is part of all of these major crises that go on all the time. It really brought it home again.
Yeah, the phrase "dark side" has never been more applicable than it has during this DCKO event. Mm-hmm. While this whole tournament thing is happening, all these tie-ins have these sub-stories happening, like Darkseid. Neuron is working for Darkseid. He's in hell doing his thing for him. Even in the Green Lantern one, those were acolytes of Darkseid's out there in space. And in the Flash book, Darkseid is trying to take over the Speed Force. He's literally everywhere right now as this King Omega. And the Flash family have been trying to stop him from turning it into the Omega Force. And it all starts with Bart thinking, oh, why don't I just run back in time and stop this event from happening? And it's caused like a cascading effect. So they're going through different points in time and stuff. And in this, they go back to Crisis on Infinite Earth and that fateful moment where Barry Allen saves everybody trying to stop him, but ultimately finding out he has to let it happen kind of thing. And Darkseid was hoping that he would stop him because Bart is the physical embodiment of the Speed Force right now, which is super cool. But it was awesome. We get Max Mercury in here from the past.
Challenges of the Unknown are in there.
Yeah, dude, we finally called back to it. We finally called back to Rocky and the big robot from the end of the series. Because remember that one panel in that other book where we pointed out like months ago, like, bro, there's Rocky. The Challengers are back there. Oh man, y'all gotta find it. VPN USA's Netflix. It's a must watch. Must watch. Kevin, are you still here? Our movie guy. Go watch Gunslingers on Netflix. Worst movie of the decade, but it's so bad it's fun. Yeah, Flash was great. What else you got, Paul? Look at us. Look at us, simpatico. I didn't see that cover.
Yeah, I liked it. It was like,
I see that. Is that Kyle?
Yep.
Bro, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's super cool. This is our Valentine's Day special right here. It's February, a little late. Better late than never. Better late than never.
At least in the same month, which is more than the Rockefellers can say.
Yeah, I still have that over here. I haven't read it yet. I figured I'll wait till December.
Yeah.
Yeah, what'd you think of Green Lantern number 32, the Valentine's Day special, which it kind of feels like a calm down issue first off because the events that are happening and everything. Green Lantern had some KO tie-ins, some soft tie-ins, but it seems like there's some big context in here, but the meat of the story just felt like a kind of like a cool down story between story arcs. But the intro to this and the outro to this have massive implications.
Yes, and this is Legacy number 599, so the next issue is issue number 600. So
that last page, the stinger on the last page that tells about it. So we're building up for a big Kronos storyline. Kronos, who is super important in the Green Lantern mythos, looking into the origin of creation and all those things. But there's a version of Kronos walking right now that looks like a disfigured Hal Jordan from the events of the Starbreaker Supremacy story, and on Oa, where they had that little doorway thing that had a piece of his essence. Maybe we don't fully know yet, but it's walking on planets in the galaxy right now. Then we cut to the story. Hal takes Carol out for a date in Paris. It gets interrupted by some rapscallions. Carol goes ham. They stop her together, and she gets there's this little artifact that the person that interrupts them with, they stealing some stuff, and they had to go stop the robbery. But this artifact, something about it triggered her powers, and it was revealed to her that you are a diluted version of your true self, of who you once were, and we're going to get back to that kind of thing. Which she's got some dangerous potential.
Yeah, and it's almost kind of like there are 8 different pieces apparently that when they come together will make her the Star Sapphire, and she has 3 of them already. So I'm sure that will be part of the storyline going on. Is we'll trying to find the other 5 and things like that. So because when she gets the first, I mean, she's not necessarily a particularly nice person when she gets sent up. When she gets
she's a
sent up.
villain at
Yeah.
full potential.
Yep.
Kind of taken over by the emotion. But then at the end of it, it gives us the big teaser. Next issue 600, the next big happening is kicking off. So if you've never read Green Lantern, if you're not currently pulling Green Lantern, make sure you get issue 600. It's going to be a big milestone issue, oversized, and it'll set you up with all the information you'll need. I can confidently say this blind. You don't have to have read the 32 issues to pick up 600 and to read forward from there. So pick up 600. Jeremy Adams is crushing it, and fingers crossed that it's not like 17 writers doing 3.5 pages each in a conglomerate book. So we'll see. I'm hoping that we check in with the core, check in with all the characters and all that, but it should all be pointing us in the direction of this big Kronos thing that's about to go down.
I think it's Jeremy, but then I do believe that Ron Mars and Darryl Banks are doing a short story.
Who would complain about that?
Absolutely.
Yes. That's perfect. Did y'all see that the island that time forgot from the OG Suicide Squad is the big bad in the Lanterns TV series? I did not, but that's fantastic. We're getting dinosaurs.
And I'll bet you that's exactly where Peacemaker is.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. God, they better not put Peacemaker in Lanterns. I love Peacemaker, but good God. Like, let these shows breathe, man. 49 months strong. Remember mine? Milestone. Holy shit balls, over 4 years. Well, when you say it like that, we all feel old.
I know.
That reminds me, we're going to be running the Wheel of Names here in a few minutes. What else you got, Paul? Ooh, Hyde Street. That was from last week, right?
No, that was from this week.
Was it?
Yeah.
I definitely read that. Where's my copy? Did I put it up already? Is it by the bed? I got a lot. There it is. I got a lot of books all over the place. Yes, Hyde Street. Another one that's setting up for a big event. I feel like it'd been a while since this last released, because we have the tarot card reader from Sisterhood that went to the castle to see Mr. Otterman, aka Frankenstein, to make sure that the butcher was still in his cell, because the cards foretold that the butcher of Hyde Street, which is an entity so evil and so dangerous that even the residents of Hyde Street that don't exist in life or death and are only here to usher souls to the collector, they fear the butcher. We don't know who the butcher is, but we get to talk with the butcher for the first time. They go down there, verify the butcher is in fact in his cell, and we get a little flashback to more context to the lady who is a tarot card reader and the little bird on her shoulder and the horror in which she went through that got her and her friend on Hyde Street.
Right. And next issue is The Butcher of Hyde Street Part 1.
Part 1.
So.
It's going to be dope. Look at Pops dropping the big hammer. 53 months strong. Happy birthday again, Simon. There you go. Pops use a flex to tell him happy birthday. That's my dad right there.
Yeah.
I like it. But yeah, it was super good. Art was fantastic. Ivan Reese. I'm excited to see where it goes. I think it's going to be bananas. We're about to be entering this I guess like phase 3 of Ghost Machine with the what's it called, the Unbelievables.
The Unbelievables. Yep.
They're rebranding the Family Odyssey imprint and expanding it.
Right.
So it's not going to be called Family Odyssey anymore. It's going to be called Unbelievables.
Right. And we're getting 2 preludes with the Rockefellers and Hornsby and Halo. And then we're getting the $1 Trillion Kid, who is the 3rd title of that.
Did you read that 8 Billion Genies miniseries that Charles Soule did?
Mhm.
Yeah, I immediately think of that with the $1 Trillion Kid. That by the end of it, you're like, there's that rich kid in the city that whatever. But it made me think of that. But it looked like we're getting a ton of other titles coming too. I don't know if they're just characters included in the books or whatever, but they showed us that spread page with like countless characters I've never seen before until that piece of art.
It's funny because I'm wondering if Mad Ghost is actually just they're just kind of winking at us, because that's what originally Ghost Machine was called.
Yeah.
Because the very first Geiger was printed under.
See, and
Mad
like, I don't
Ghost.
even understand the context of that at all right there. Like, are those the name of titles that are coming?
I think the name of characters, I think.
See, that's where titles. Like, like with the unnamed timeline, those are titles that are slowly coming out. Right. So is that going to be kind of the same thing? I don't know. That's kind of big for your britches to do that many titles. I don't know how well the Family Odyssey stuff is doing, but I'm the only person I know. Like, we are the only people I know that keep up with like the Family Odyssey stuff, even with Rockefellers.
Yeah, and it's like, and you know what? God bless Brad Meltzer. He gets to be one of the owners of his company. He doesn't have to put anything out.
I don't have to do a damn thing. Just go on TV shows, make fantastic books for children, and the Cracker Barrel logo is crazy. Yeah, the Cracker Barrel logo was used in the making of that. It's hilarious. Yeah, they all saying the same thing, Caroline. It felt like it'd been a while since the last issue, but I'm excited for the Butcher of Hyde Street story arc to kick off. That is for sure. What else you got, Paul?
Last one for me.
Last one, Detective Comics. The finale to the story arc against the Lion and his pretty much he just benzoed the entire city of Gotham. They ain't got they got no more stress. No.
Look who appears.
Hey, Darkseid, he is.
No.
Oh yeah, Mr. Terrific. He's in everything.
He is.
I don't understand why a couple of their releases are starting at number 0, especially Rocket. They're not. It's just one shot.
They're preludes to the Unbelievables, and they're going to tie into the $1 Trillion Kid.
So they're just special one shot. So like Jeff Johns is a DC head. He's a DC fanboy, and at DC Comics they did this thing back in the 90s called 0 Hour, and across all their titles they did an issue 0, and the 0 was nice and foily, and it was just a special issue. It didn't break up the numbering of the pre-existing stuff. It was just so you know that this is the special one. And on these Ghost Machine Zeros at the top, it'll say Prelude to Unbelievables in a big banner. So you know that it's made specifically to usher in this next little thing. So yeah, it's just everything that they do, from the checker box on the unnamed to the Who's Who that are coming out, are all inspired from his love for DC Comics, which is awesome.
And they threw in the middle of their runs in the New 52, they threw in a 0 issue as well for everyone.
Yep. Oh yeah, the matching covers, everyone busting through the cover and stuff.
Yep.
They lost $700 million on that rebrand for Cracker Barrel. Dude got fired for that bad idea. It wasn't a dude, it was a lady, but they did lose a lot of money, and they're gaining it all back. Cracker Barrel, they got smart, but they did keep some of them. They did keep some of them in the new areas. They just didn't go back and retrofit the other stores. We're a Cracker Barrel family, so I was kind of sad at the idea of Cracker Barrel, like, just modern washing the restaurant. Like, the whole point is for it to feel like an old country store. Like, you should feel like I might lose my life eating this omelet at any point in time. This 3-man saw blade.
That's what Waffle House is for.
Yeah, exactly. This 3-man saw blade can fall and cut my family in twine. You know what I mean? Like, that should be a thought while I'm eating my sausage patty and my biscuits and gravy. Yeah, nobody did, Caroline. Nobody did. It was crazy. But dude, shout out to Cracker Barrel, because They had an idea. It was a bad one. Literally everyone said, "What are you doing?" And they said, "Okay, we're sorry. We're not going to do it." And you know what? As a matter of fact, we're bringing back the old timer menu. We're going to show you some cool social media stuff. We'll go in the warehouse. We'll bring out the decor. Like their social media games on point right now. Like apologizing, pulling out old menus, reverting old recipes and stuff. So they went back to formula. Yeah. So yeah, our bad, y'all. Yeah. Kudos to them for reading the room. Like they had an idea, it was a bad one. They recognized it, they apologized, and they made it up for it. So if you like good country old school food, check out Cracker Barrel. My kids love it because they'll eat breakfast food any time of day. And plus there's a toy store in the middle of the restaurant. How do you top that? Mr. Dave's like a hurl biscuits at the waitress, and they get to play checkers by a fire while they wait on their food. Come on, you're gonna paint this place all white and gray and put a bar in it? Literally, no one's ever said, "I want a drink. Let's go to Cracker Barrel." No one has ever uttered those words seriously ever. That was the craziest idea. So that was your last one, Paul?
That was my last one.
I got a couple more. I think this was from last week, but I finally got around to reading it. I still have a stat from last week, but Godzilla #7 from the Kaisei era under IDW of their ongoing connected universe Godzilla stuff. Godzilla died in the last issue when they got Dan Jurgens breeding to come in and do the cover homage. This is the fallout from that. Jason, who's part of G-Force, who killed him, because people, the energy that fuels Godzilla is like mutated people. There's people with powers in this, but he found out in this that Godzilla wasn't just an animal, it's an entity, it's an energy, and he looks to have that energy contained in him. And it was revealed in the last issue with an uncontrolled explosion from Jason, who has like the same energy stuff but on a smaller scale. And when he had this uncontrollable flare up, he like floated up in the air, and this is what surrounded him. So Godzilla's essence seems to be inside of him right now, and that flare up happened in a face off with Anguirus, who seemed to be coming to town unnaturally, maybe responding to the death of Godzilla. So very interesting stuff. They talk about it. They tried to debrief Jason. They're like, "Yo, when he died, were there did you see bones? Were there guts? Where is he? Where did he go? He couldn't have just dissolved into thin air." So it's super cool in that aspect. Punisher #6. Oops, I mean #1. So for the past 5 months, Benjamin Percy, probably the only writer at Marvel that I will ever recommend in modern time, has been writing Punisher. He started at #1. Then a month later, he made #2. Then a month later, you know what he did, Paul?
I'm guessing 3.
And then
4.
And then 5.
5.
And then the very next month, you know what he did?
He did Punisher #1 again.
He did Punisher #1. This is literally Punisher 6. In Punisher 5, he shoots up the Kingpin, leaves him for dead, and he shoots up Tombstone, leaves him for dead. In the beginning of this, they're picking up Tombstone, where he just got shot and left for dead. It's in no way a reboot. It's in no way another volume. It's in no way a #1. It's literally #6. Literally #6.
What's their rationale for putting 1 on it?
Huh?
What's their rationale for putting 1 on it?
Well, I got this figured out. I'm glad you asked. So for 5 issues, Punisher was a red band book. It came in the poly bag. It's R-rated. It's in a poly bag. Ooh, now you want it more than if it wasn't in a poly bag. Well, if you look at the volume title, it was Punisher Volume 14, I believe. This is now 15. That's crazy. If you look at the volume title, it's called Punisher Red Band. Well, you kind of committed to having to put it in a red band bag, because that's what the red band is, the clear bag with the literally red band warning. So what I think that they wanted to do was just lose the cost of having to bag them all. So we have to revolume it because it's not red band anymore. Because that was the actual open the cover, look at the title. It's technically Punisher Red Band. Now it's just Punisher Volume 57 or whatever. But it's the same creative team, same writer, same artist, same letters, same colors, same everything. It's fantastic. It's really good. The same guy that brought us like consistently 2.5 years of fantastic Ghost Rider is now doing this. So go pick this up. Or don't. But if you do, you should like it. What is going on, Billy? 5 was great. Yeah, all 6 issues now has been good. I'm going to get a piece of paper. I'm going to cut out a 6 and I'm just going to tape it over it. Just make myself feel better. Why does Marvel do this stupid shit with the numbering? Legacy number it and stop being dumb. Yeah, it's legacy number 280. So I do appreciate them putting the legacy on there, but and I don't mind. I mean, commentary is commentary, but it makes sense after 12, 16, 20 issues. I get it. I get it. 5? That doesn't make sense, especially if it's the same continued story. It's not even like a big story arc change. Like he got Micro, who was hooked up to a computer, like getting pretty much brainwashed Clockwork Orange style. He got Micro out of the house that the Kingpin was in, threw him in the back of his truck, and got him out of there. They're literally still in the truck in the start of this issue. It's like issue 5B. It's hardly even issue 6. And they call it issue 1. That's crazy. They're going to steal my idea for retconning the character. What's your idea for it? Because we still haven't got the explanation for how he's fully back yet. Benjamin Percy is doing because remember how Benjamin Percy did the motorcycle chase in like all of his books up to Death Mountain? He's doing the same little thing he did with Ghost Rider, bringing Johnny Blaze back. He had the parasite in his head and his memory's gone. In this, it's Frank has a chip in his head that Wilson Fisk put there. Same thing though. You gotta get the right bullets, Pops. And I'm good with that. Oh, it's in a poly bag. Yes, I don't want it. It's just the same, just different. I appreciate the legacy. I mean, we're tinted. There you go. I need a numbering system with cohesion. Yeah. Then the finale to Justice League versus Kong versus Godzilla Volume 2. I got to tell you, this was fun. It was in no way as good as the first volume. This one felt a little more rushed. But
started off strong. The end of the first issue was incredible.
Yeah, it started off super strong. It really did. And then bringing in Ghidorah in this one. But the premise of this one is that Amanda Waller and Lee Shaw, Kurt Russell's character, but in this, they get the fallen Legion of Doom and Suicide Squad and force them to go run this op with them to Hollow Earth. Ultimately, they're wanting to synthesize Titan blood and use it as a weapon so that they can like Titan size villains and people and characters and stuff. You know, like the Titans respond to that. You get some cool battles, cool fights. The Legion versus the Justice League versus Suicide Squad, Titans versus Titans, all kinds of cool stuff like that. But the story kind of falls apart. Ultimately, you get like Superman fighting kaiju and he's big in size, and that's fun and all. It's cool when they do it to King Shark because he looks like a kaiju. It got a little weird when they started doing it to humans. But here's the thing. This book ends without ever addressing Lex Luthor, Lee Shaw, anything. It ends on the kaiju fight. So like you would think like we have to stop these kaiju that we're going to fight with and then go address the bad guys that are orchestrating it. They just forgot about them, Paul. They end the kaiju fight. Ghidorah and Superman, who's real big, and Kong comes in. It's just a big fight with everybody. When that fight stops, that's how the book ends, with them still in Hollow Earth. They don't address Lee Shaw. They don't address the Legion of Doom. They don't address Suicide Squad. The fact that they went down here, they're Titan-sizing things. Like, that's the literal premise of the story.
Right.
That this premise has caused this unfortunate thing happening with it. We have to stop this. We have to stop them from doing it. They stopped this, but they never stopped them from doing it and never even mentioned them. It was weird. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Wait, what? But it was the end of the book. Like, it was the final issue. It's like, that's odd. Either way, still got a bunch of cool covers out of it. I said it on Tuesday without doing spoilers on it. I said that I really enjoyed it from like a fun level. I'll reread the first one in my lifetime for sure. There's the Alan Qua connecting cover. All 7 of them connect, make one big image. But I'll reread the first one for sure in my lifetime. This one, I'm not sure. The Kevin Maguire, these perspective covers. Look at little Green Lantern. But I can't recommend this to somebody. I wouldn't let him, you know what I mean? Like, if you're me, you pick it up, you ain't going to regret it, but I wouldn't recommend it to somebody else. Like I would recommend Rocketeer, The Island, the most unfortunate, ill-timed title of a comic book this decade.
Mm-hmm.
This was the sleeper hit of the week for me. Have you heard about this one yet, Paul?
I have not.
Premise goes, Amelia Earhart is missing. Last known whereabouts is near this chain of islands. So the men with black hats come to the airfield. They looking for Cliff Secord. Like, hey, we think you can help us. He's like, I can't help you. They're like, we know how you can help us. They know he's the Rocketeer. So Cliff finds out that his ex-girlfriend, Buns here, Betty, is going with her new potential boyfriend on the trip to the same chain of islands. So for him to go look for Amelia Earhart, he'll actually be able to go interfere with her good time, win her back kind of thing. So he agrees to do it. While he's loading up on the boat, he meets the captain of the boat. You know who the captain of the boat is, Paul?
No.
I can't wait to show
you. Popeye.
Not just a guy who looks like Popeye. It's actually Popeye.
Okay.
It's super cool. So Popeye's the
gotta love public domain.
Yes, but that's not all who's attending this boat journey. Other people are there for different reasons. One person is going to be chronicling the adventures, a little reporter. Do you know who it might be?
Jimmy Olsen.
Close. Tintin with his trusty companion Snowy. So you got Popeye, you got Tintin, you get some stuff and things. They ultimately make it to the island where you get the big reveal.
Skull Island.
Skull Island, bro. This is a Tintin Rocketeer Popeye King Kong crossover.
Wow.
Dude, how crazy is that? I guess calling it Skull Island would give away the whole game. But calling it the island, that was a wild gamble, guys. We're gonna have to put some buns on the cover to really sell this. Yeah, but yeah, they drew like Betty Page on the bondage thing there. Yeah, Dave Stevens will have a variant for each issue of this miniseries. So if you're a Dave Stevens art collector, it's a good time to pick up some Dave Stevens buns. And I picked up Hulk #4. The interior art was great. Story is man. Philip Kennedy Johnson, he's just really lost it. He did so great on Warworld, set such a high bar, and he just has not maintained that at all. It's sad. For me. If you like him, fine. His Superman Book of L book is terrible. I dropped it. Like, that's crazy to even say. I finally dropped it. You still pulling that one?
No.
I don't feel bad. I was afraid to say that for a second, but that's crazy. So you didn't care for it either, huh?
No.
That's crazy. Like I said about Unlimited, for me to drop a Superman title, it's got to suck. Night, Pop. Is that Rocketeer issue okay for an 11-year-old? I picked it up because my son loves Rocketeer movie, but it's perfectly fine for an 11-year-old. The Dave Stevens cover is the only thing risque about it at all. See the buns? Yeah, the regular. You saw the art in it. It's very like retro chill looking. But yeah, I take it back. It's not the good or the bad island. Oh, yeah, it's the dangerous island. All right, that's all I got. Massive stack of comics. Talked about the Paramount deal. Talked about Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. Talked about that top tier movie Gunslinger, now on Netflix. Don't forget that's happening right now. Go get an Apple subscription. Go watch Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, see the greatest kaiju battle, the finale of the Knights of the Seven Kingdoms. But most importantly, Nick Cage wants you to.
It's interesting, this book. It says Bible. You should try it. Read it. It's good.
I'm looking for.
That's the craziest thing I've ever seen, ever, was Gunslinger on Netflix. Y'all go check it out. All right, we're about to do this thing. The Legion loot. So for this month, themed around variants, ratios, exclusives, those kind of things, with a nice little kicker book in here. So let me show y'all what's in the Legion loot for this month. It was the 90th anniversary of the Phantom, like we talked about this past month. So I've got some really cool Phantom covers. Got the Freddie Williams cover there. This is the 1:10 ratio. This is kind of similar to the artwork on the interior of Rocketeer as well. 1:10 ratio there. Forgot who the name of this guy did this. Kasana, something. Just some really cool Phantom covers there. Yeah, you might even win a Rocketeer one right now. Dude, I know this guy. Sean Gordon Murphy variant for the Rocketeer, the Island #1. Freaking sweet cover there. Yeah, there's a crazy variety of character stuff and things in this. That John Jang, Mr. Terrific with the Terrific 10, super insane. The brand new 40th anniversary of The Dark Knight Returns. Is that right? 40th anniversary of The Dark Knight Returns was this past week. So they did some brand new covers for it, including the Frank Miller hashtag Let Frank Draw.
Many considered it the greatest year in comics history, 1986. It was Watchmen,
Watchmen Crisis.
and it was exactly. And The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. Look at that. You do you, Frank Miller. I legit love it. I'm not even gonna lie. All right, then we got some ratio variants. The 1 in 10 for issue 2 of Blue Falcon and Dynamite. This miniseries went really, really hard. That Virgin variant, Matina, just absolutely insane. We got a 1 in 20 of issue 3 for Terminators, Virgin variant. What's that? Man, Gaskins or something? I don't know. The 1 in 15 for Space Ghost, issue number 12. Insane Matina variant. Again, look at the ripples. Like, good grief.
I was a big Bjorn Barron's fan of the Space Ghost cover.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he does some really tough ones. Have you seen where Mark Spears, the stuff because he does like the kind of the same thing with the 3D art kind of thing, the 3D art models. He started doing like less of the neon color filters and more realistic color palette on some of the stuff that he's sharing for the upcoming con. It looks pretty wicked too. We got the 1 in 25 for Godzilla. Here There Be Dragons. You got Hedorah there on the cover. This is one of like my all-time favorite miniseries right here. This was incredible. And this one is issue 3. Inaki Miranda does the interiors with Ava De La Cruz on the colors. I highly recommend reading this. Even if you're not a Godzilla fan, this was a standalone, just amazing 5-issue story. But with Monsterverse kicking off, how to get some Godzilla ratio variant in there for some love. Super good stuff there. And then this is issue number 161 of Batman, featuring some Clayman goodness in the 1 in 25 ratio. That's wicked. I'm assuming that's from Hatushi. 161.
Yeah, looks like it definitely is part of the Hush 2. Yep.
Yeah, pretty freaking wicked. And last but certainly not least, the hottest book of the month was Dork. And you got the this is the Jorge Corona cover, who's the upcoming artist for Lobo, who did like Transformers for a while, but super wicked cover, like easily the hottest little new spec book. So Dork, issue number 1. All that going to one lucky winner whose name is on the wheel. You get your name on the wheel by hitting that join button and becoming a channel member in the Legion tier. You get your name on the wheel. You get the loyalty badge next to your name. You get the custom emojis, early access to content, exclusive invites, stuff like that. You can always just join in the supporter tier as well if you're just wanting to help out and support the channel. But the Legion tier, get your name on the wheel. So here we go. We got the names on the wheel. Paul, I'm going to shuffle till you say stop.
Stop.
All right. So as you all know, the way that this goes now is if you win.
Joe wounds me.
If you win, remember, you're welcome. But if you lose, remember, Paul said stop, not me.
Right. And Joe, you can't win anymore because my stuff's not the big stuff, apparently.
Oh, easy. Not the big ones. Yeah. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Only if I can win it. Pop something I haven't even done. Oh, he hasn't won the Legion loot yet. Yeah, I don't think he has won a Legion loot. He wins Tuesday giveaways and stuff too. Yeah. He's a winner. He's just after a Legion loot. Let's see if he gets it. Good luck to everybody. Remember, reach out to me. I don't talk to all y'all on a regular basis. I talk to a lot of y'all on a regular basis, but I'm not tracking people down. Steven with a C. A1 from day one. Let's go. Big congrats to Steven.
So your record is intact, Joe.
Yeah, dude. Thank y'all so much for being here, Steven. I'll get that out to you in the next few days here. Paul, it's been a long show tonight. Sorry,
Yeah.
I went over a lot. But yeah, hope everyone has a fantastic night. You got anything else you want to hit them with? You got anything else?
Nope. No guest like you this week. We'll be back next week, a week from Wednesday. Beckerman and Burke will join us.
All right. Till then, y'all take it easy and check out the video that posts tomorrow on the Paramount, Warner Brothers, Netflix breakdown details. Peace.
Is that it? Is that all you got?